So this is my first video that I've done for my channel in a really long time. I can't even remember. I think it's been since the last summer, I think, before I went on a trip along the Camino de Santiago here in Portugal. And since then it just haven't felt the inspiration or something. I think a part of me just kind of like decided to go inward and just stay away from the outbound expression or something like that. But it just felt, for me, just felt guided as a time to go ahead and start to do this again for my original intention, which was just to kind of just share my own personal journey, my ongoing process with myself and with others and life. And so that was the initial idea, was to do that, just to maybe other people out there could relate, get something from it. I'm living here in Portugal. I've been here now about 3 years, and I was with a community of people for about a year and a half of that, so about half of that, and the other half I just been on my own, making my way through, and with lots of up and downs, good times and not so good times. And so just been processing a lot for myself, what has been through my whole life, that I've struggled with and had challenges with, as well as letting in all the good things that have happened in my life. And so there's been something about this kind of like hermitage phase of just being in my own skin kind of thing, but not quite so much in relationship to other people. I've had interactions with other people. I've met some acquaintances while I've been here, and I've done some traveling around Portugal, and yet not really fully being in like deep, intimate relationship, which has always been kind of a struggle for a part of me, to really get into, the depths of your own personal honesty and where you're at, and transacting love space between each other. And I certainly have learned over my last 10 years that relationship is a challenging thing. It really is, and it's a very beautiful thing too at the same time. And so I think for myself, I have needed some time this past year and a half or so, the past 2 years, just to really dig into a relationship with myself. And then I think that can only really go so far, to be honest. It's a good place. I feel good about who I am and where I'm at. And there's also other things that are missing in my life as well. And that can only really be, I think, met in relationship, whether that's me, meeting new people, going out and venturing out. And so I have reacquainted with someone that I've known for quite some time, and that feels good to have that connection again, to feel myself in that relational space. So I'm very curious to see how that kind of goes for me coming forward. And I think maybe even doing these videos is one of those ways of kind of opening myself up again, because this is a semi-relational space, not really actually face-to-face. How much virtual can actually be a relational space is one thing, but certainly for people that might leave comments or something like that, that's really something to be with. So I think that's part of the reason why I'm choosing to go back into this again, for that reason. So yeah, I'm very fortunate to be here. You can see just how wonderful it is here. I'm in central Portugal. I feel very fortunate to have been here these past 3 years in the space. It's a wonderful country. The location that I'm at is really, very idyllic, and very simple, very quiet. And I think a part of me certainly has needed that. I'm going to get some dappled sunlight here. So I'm considering moving from here into more of a city vibe. It sounds kind of crazy being in a sort of quiet place, but I think there's something in it for me, especially wanting to be a little bit more open and more out there, and connecting with people. So I think there's a journey in that for me as well, while this has been a journey for myself. So I'm still feeling into that possibility. So I think right now in myself, there's many videos that I want to talk about in terms of things that I've been through in my life and what I've gone through and what I'm still struggling with and things that I feel like I've gotten better at and healed and all that. I've been reading Ram Dass's book, Be Here Now, listened to some of his audios and things like that. And many of you, I know, I'm sure know him. And I really just enjoy listening to the way he presents and the way he talks and all that. And just to take in his energy. And one of the things I realized last night while listening to him, just those words, be here now, it can be very challenging, I've recognized, just to be here now. And just to sit in the moment and appreciate everything that you have in this particular moment. I can say that, I'm not making enough money. I wish I had more. I wish I had, more people to relate to. I wish I had, a relationship, all these things, different job, whatever that is. And that's not really in the now. Actually, right now is, I don't mind what I'm doing right now. I'm an online English teacher. I really enjoy my students. I'm not making as much as I would like, but I have enough to live here and have the things that I need, save a little bit of money. So that's all good. Beautiful nature, wonderful people. So letting that in is even challenging, like letting in the goodness of what is here now. And then, of course, at other times in my life, the be here now was always challenging, being in maybe dissonant relationships or friendships or really intense work environments or maybe geographical places, things like that, really feeling, a grind in some of those be here now moments. It's like, I don't want to be here now. And just to feel that as well, because it can be an intensity to really go into what is it that you feel. Sometimes you're not always grateful of what's now. Sometimes it's to go into saying, I'm really unhappy, I'm really depressed. That's what's true right here, right now. And that can be really hard to step into. That is being here now, is feeling what is currently moving through you. It's not always just gratitude. There can just be a lot of dissonance in this space too. And last night, as I was just sitting on my couch, just trying to be here now, I can even feel levels of grief that were coming up inside of me. Sadness, loneliness, some of that. And so then I think I realized that we can go into something around scrolling or reading or watching a movie. And while yes, that can be being here now, I'm doing this, I'm being present to the movie or the music, but sometimes if we really allow ourselves to drop in deeper into that now moment, we may find that there's something that comes up that's not fun to feel. And it wasn't about just sitting and being in the blah state, but just actually feeling it. Just sitting in it and letting it arise. And it didn't come up as much as I thought it might, but it was just allowing something to pop up into my current state of what's true for me or a part of me in that particular moment, and allowing that to inform where I am now in so many ways. And there's so many multiple things to be there. And it's a challenging, I think, for a lot of us to really step into that now moment, because I think the now moment is so full. Ram Dass had mentioned that, in the now moment is the past and the future. It's all right here. So everything that you have felt, everything that you're thinking about, it's all present here. This is all happening in this particular moment. So there's so much. And I think that's what the challenging part is, to really let in all the fullness of what is in this moment. And then just allowing yourself to be there and allow the expression or the feeling to move in and out, and to maybe get some clarity about what that feeling. Maybe you don't know, but even just expressing it and feeling it is part of the journey. You don't have to know exactly what it is that you're feeling and why you're feeling it. Just is, and just being in the isness of the feeling. And I know I've always struggled with that, because there's been always so much inside of me that has been, I think, in suffering. And I think the suffering has been, a part of not actually feeling, not actually being present, not actually being truthful or honest about what I'm feeling in a particular moment, not arising to that be here now moment. So I'm really wanting to step into that more for myself and see what that is and who I am in that be here now moment. Because I think I've always struggled to, to digest things that happened in the past, maybe some inner traumas that have just been lingering and I haven't been dealing with, some future anxieties that are coming up. And so everything's just swirling around, and then we find so many ways of dealing with those emotions and those energies. And in my past, I did a lot, to deal with that with drinking and drugs and pornography and work and all sorts of things in relationships, sex. I mean, it's just a ton of things that we use to almost stay out of that be here now moment. Even while at the same time those things are trying to get us into that be here now moment. So there's this kind of interesting dissonance between what's really happening in this particular moment. So so I just wanted to express that, and maybe you might have some resonance around that. I will continue to digest it for myself. There's so much more to go into, and I just really wanted to keep these videos a bit shorter. Not too terribly long, because I know when I watch videos, it's sort of like, all right, man, get on with it. So anyway, so if you have any particular relationship with your be here now moment and that's like for you, I know for others it can be this completely blissful sort of like transcendent experience, and for others it can be very painful and torturous depending on where you're at, what you're going through, what you've been through. So and I know that this can be even a struggle for men, which is my main desire, is to talk to men, but this is also for all people, men and women who struggle and who are in bliss and who have been through the ins and outs of all of this. So this is a place for all of us to, I think, get together and express our particular experiences with it. What is your journey? What is my journey? They're all meant for something. One's not better than the other. We're all going through something so epic and so sacred, and it's all good and it's all God, regardless of where it is, honestly. Even in the kind of the hellscape of it all, there is somehow, I feel, a purpose for it. And I think we can all be here for each other in this now moment. And this is the beautiful thing about something like YouTube. We get to interact in this sort of time space, in whatever time and whatever space we're meant to be in together. So anyway, thanks for checking this in. I'm hoping to do at least a video a week to continue to talk about what I've been through and what I'm going through and where I'd like to go, and then also to connect with you as a viewer. So anyway, thanks so much. Appreciate any liking or subscribing if you wish. That's not really my particular goal, but always appreciated. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.